This is Diving In with the Port of Seattle. I'm Mallory Hauser. I'm here with Danielle Butsick, and we are talking about our underwater noise assessment program. First, let's start by you telling us a little bit about what it is and why the Port cares about underwater noise.
The Underwater Noise Assessment Program is part of our Underwater Noise Mitigation and Management Program. We're collecting data in order for us to establish an underwater noise baseline in Elliott Bay, and that will help us make data-informed and science-informed decisions about how we implement underwater noise reduction strategies.
Great, and underwater noise is important, especially here, because all of the unique and wonderful marine life that we have that communicate underwater.
So underwater noise is a really big threat to marine species in Elliott Bay. Really, any species that relies on echolocation to communicate can be impacted by underwater noise. And especially the southern resident killer whale, which, as we know, is a very iconic species in Elliott Bay. Orcas, or southern resident killer whales, rely on echolocation to hunt, to avoid danger, and to reproduce. So it's really critical for them to be able to hear one another and communicate underwater.
Okay, now tell me about the hydrophones, because that's what you're going to be doing today, is putting them out into the bay, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so today we have a team of underwater noise acoustic specialists, scientists, that have helped us design a program where we will be collecting data over these 2 years. They've helped us design the hydrophone system. So the noise data will be collected continuously, and it'll be transmitted back to the shore station, and we'll save that data there, and we'll collect it about every month or so.
So I know you're tracking noise from all these sources. What types of data are you going to collect?
The type of data that we're going to collect is kind of two different types of sound data. We're going to collect information on the pressure of the sound, which is basically, you can think of it as how loud a sound is, and the frequency of a sound. So those are the different types of data that we're going to be collecting, really just pressure and frequency.
And what are the ultimate goals of our underwater noise program?
So the ultimate goal is to really assess the underwater noise environment, set that baseline, and then we'll set targets based on that baseline. So we don't have specific targets yet, and that's what this process will help inform. As we're collecting data, it'll give us a sense for where we're at now and where we need to be in the future.
Are there any challenges you anticipate?
Yeah, I mean, one thing is that environmental noise can be pretty loud. So like wind and rain and waves can generate a lot of sort of distracting noise, and especially at the surface. So what we've done is we've actually made sure that we're going to deploy the hydrophones at least 60 feet deep, so that we can sort of buffer against those surface effects.
And for those who are curious and want to learn more or want to follow along, what can they do?
Yeah, we will be posting our quarterly reports online, and also just for any updates on the environmental program at Port of Seattle, you can go to subscribe.portseattle.org.
Absolutely. Subscribe to that evergreen newsletter. That's a great way to get information. You can also subscribe to this YouTube channel, where we'll share more environment and sustainability news. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mallory.
This is Diving In with the Port of Seattle. Great, and take me forward a little bit. It's 2 years, we have a good data set. What's next? What will that tell us? What will it inform?
Yeah, so once we have 2 years of data, we're going to try to establish a baseline or seasonal baselines of just how much noise is present in the underwater environment in Elliott Bay. So once we can set that baseline, it'll help us to measure progress toward reducing the underwater noise environment.